Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Barbeno's World. And I've got some arrows in me today, and that's because I relogged when it was nighttime, and my mob switch got disabled, so I got ambushed by a bunch of skeletons, but at least it wasn't creepers. Anyways, yesterday we built up, or in the last episode, we built up this really huge circular floor for the new building that I want to do. And I just want to do as much building as I can in this episode. The next step that we have to do for the build is probably to work on the walls. And I don't really have a design planned for it. All I know is I want to use kind of the same block palette as I did over there. And that's going to involve some quartz, some cyan terracotta, and white stained glass. So I'm going to just start messing around to see if I can find a design that I like for the walls. Alright, I think that's kind of a good start. It looks decent. So I'm just going to go all the way around filling in something that looks a little bit like this. Here's what I've got so far. I've got some pillars of the terracotta separated by some quartz. It looks decent, I guess. I really don't have a good idea of what it's going to look like when it's all done though. So I guess I'll just keep going. Good stuff. I finished up this wall all the way up to 3 high around the entire building. And I think it looks really nice. As you can see, we've got some windows here and here on each of the sides. That's the only place we've got the glass. I might change it up a little bit later. But for now, I think this looks pretty good. So what I'm going to do now is just do a big time lapse of placing down all of the blocks that I have in my shulker boxes. And as you can see, my supplies are already starting to dwindle just from doing 3 blocks up. So yeah, I don't know how long it's going to last, but let's go. Welcome back, everybody. And yeah, I've used up almost a full shulker box of smooth quartz, and yep, it's all empty now. Yeah, I also used a bunch of terracotta from here, and the walls are all 9 blocks tall, I believe, or maybe they're actually 12 blocks. Yeah, it was 12. Anyways, I'm almost done building it up, I think, because I just want it to be tall enough to reach over most of the machines. But the issue is this tree farm right here is kind of tall, so I think I'm going to need to make it just a few blocks taller before I can start building the dome shape above it. And yeah, that's going to be great, but in order to do that, I need a little bit more quartz, hopefully not too much, so I'll go trade with my villagers a little bit and grab some quartz and some more terracotta. Yeah, I was gonna say that I was almost done collecting all of the quartz, but I didn't smelt it yet. And as you can see, I could use it like this, but it would just look so much worse because it has this blocky texture compared to the smooth quartz variant. So yeah, let's go smelt all of this up so that it looks nice and smooth. I promise a new furnace array will be coming soon because this is just really starting to be aggravatingly slow. And while I'm waiting for all of that to smelt, I want to fix this ugly dirt corner. I don't know why I left it like this. I used to be pretty lazy. Wow, that really wasn't so bad, and now it's completely fixed. I have no idea why I didn't do that earlier. Alright, now that most of the quartz is smelted, I'm gonna go ahead and build it up 3 more blocks, I think. And yeah, in case you're wondering, here's how I do the building to do as fast as possible. I just use the fast building macros, and oh, sometimes it takes a bit to get used to it, but I just like scroll back and forth in my hotbar. Oh, I'm really botching it. I just scroll back and forth in my hotbar like this, depending on what block's in front of me. And the fast placing macro makes it pretty fast. Now, at this point, the walls probably should be tall enough to go ahead and build the roof now, but I think it might look a little bit weird considering what I've planned for the dome as a roof. So what I want to do is build like a stone buffer in between these walls and the roof. It's going to be 3 blocks high and 3 blocks tall. Hopefully this doesn't look too silly. So I'll just build part of it here and see what it looks like. Alright, I've only built a small portion of it, but I think this idea should work if I do it all the way around. So I'm excited to see how that turns out. Let's go ahead and continue building this gray bit. Not that everything else isn't gray. Ooh, we are getting a little bit close to the cobblestone generator here, but since I went up those extra few blocks, I'm gonna be fine. I've finally finished up this big smooth stone ring going around the building, and I think it looks pretty good. It took a lot of smooth stone though, like quite a few shulker boxes because it's so thick. Anyways, I do want to work on the roof soon, but before that I want to light up the bottom. Even though I do have the mob switch, I still want to light everything up so that it's non-spawnable. I got a bunch of glowstone from my clerics, and I'm just going to fill it in at even intervals all the way around this floor, and I'll, I guess, cover it up with carpets. So it looks like the ideal spacing for the glowstone is going to be every 7 blocks, and that makes it so that right in the middle it's level 8, light level. I'm all done placing down all of the glowstone, and it's pretty good. There's a few spots that could still be spawnable, like here and here in the corners where I couldn't fit an extra piece of glowstone. That's going to be kind of annoying. I might fix it by adding some new pieces of glowstone like here in the corners and beside the farms when they block off the light like this, but I'll just leave it for now. All I have to do now is hide the glowstone by placing some carpets on top of it. I think the light gray carpets are going to be the best because they match pretty well with the stone. Wow, I had almost the perfect amount of carpets, only 2 left. I mean 4 left. Anyways, now that we've done that, I want to work on the next thing, which is obviously the roof. And for the roof, or at least the start of the roof, I want it to be a really big dome made out of glass. And building dome or sphere shapes isn't as easy as you might think. It's not like you just build a smaller circle, because then, you know, it'll end up looking more like a cone. So I'm using the mini HUD mod to make a really nice circle overlay or sphere overlay. And I'm going to just follow this when I'm building the roof. And yeah, as you can see, it already looks pretty cool just with the overlay in. So once I fill this up all the way with glass, I think it's going to look great. Welcome back, everybody. And this roof right here is probably one of the biggest building grinds I've ever done in Barbeno's world. And yeah, hopefully the time lapse turned out okay. It did crash when I was saving it, but hopefully it was fine. And the time lapse took me about 1.5 hours to record, plus many more hours of collecting glass for the project. At one point, I even accidentally dyed a full shulker box full of glass, dark gray or light gray instead of white, and I just totally ruined it. So annoying. Also, I have to say that building such a massive sphere-shaped roof would never have been possible if I didn't use the mini HUD mod for the guidelines. And yeah, basically what I did for that was I enabled the renderer like this, and then I set it to only show one single layer of the circle. And then I followed it around, filling in that layer with the white glass. So every time I saw a red block, I'd replace it with the white stained glass all the way around the circle. And then I would go into config and change up the layer again. And yeah, I did that all the way up until I got to the top. Very good strategy. I would recommend it if anyone wants to build spheres in Minecraft. At this point, the building does look super cool, and honestly, I'd be fine if I finished it right now. But a friend of mine made some suggestions to improve this building a little bit, and I think if I do a few of those, it'll look so much cooler. Yeah, so the first suggestion that I got was to build a bunch of pipes coming out from the building and like going into the ground. I think that would look really cool because it is supposed to be like an industrial farming building. And yeah, maybe if it's producing stuff, then it's like transporting them using like underground pipelines, or also it could be like sucking stuff out of the ground, whatever. I'm going to try building one of those pipes. I'm not sure how it's going to turn out, but I might want to swap out the materials. Let's try this. This one is kind of a small one, and the shape is fine, but I definitely do need to change out these materials because they just look the exact same as the walls. This looks a little bit better, but I might also have to change out this terracotta. I'll see how concrete looks, maybe. No. I despise converting concrete. That's much better. Now I just want to try building a few more of these and maybe some bigger ones. This one looks pretty nice. Let's do a couple more. Alright, 4 is probably enough for one side of the building. So let's move on to a different place. So I went and added a bunch more pipes in on these two sides, and now I've got a total of 7 pipes, and they're all varying sizes. But yeah, I stopped because I don't want to run out of iron, and also I'm not sure how good these are going to look if I keep putting them all the way around. Let me know in the comments if I should add more. I also built this small cliff right here where the building was kind of overhanging, so it doesn't look so silly. This is just temporary, and I might get rid of it soon. And speaking of getting rid of things, I do need to do a little bit more cleanup around here. And the first thing that's got to go is this beastly trading hall. For this, I'm going to use my trusty lava bucket strat. Alright, let's do this. Good stuff. We've cleaned up this entire area, and from a long distance it looks quite spotless. If you get closer, all of the items render in, but in a few minutes they'll despawn, so that'll be fine. Meanwhile, I've got a few more cleanup jobs to do. One of them is getting rid of this phantom farm, which honestly does look kind of cool. And I might find another place to put it, but it's just kind of in the way, and I already have enough phantom membranes for a while. Alright, the phantom farm is gone. Now I want to get rid of this beacon base. I'm going to move it down to the bottom of the world near the bedrock so that the beacon will reach the maximum range. I'm right below my beacon base now, and I totally just forgot that I had a horse down here. That's kind of funny. Not sure what color to make this beacon because I don't really have any one color that's like the color for the base here. It's all like gray and white, so I'm just going to leave it like this for now. We're not done yet. I've still got a few more things to remove. One of them is going to be this chicken farm. I'm pretty sure I used it once, and yeah, it's kind of a bit too laggy, so I'll have to get rid of it now. Only 2 more things left to remove. This broken zero-tick cactus farm and this broken cooked chicken farm. I'm finally done removing stuff for today, and I'm really happy with how it's looking now. Everything is super clean, and I know we still do have a few random chests and undecorated farms around here, but at least I can see how it will eventually look very nice once I get everything decorated and cleaned up. So yeah, I'm super excited for what's gonna happen with this spawn area, because yeah, just a few episodes ago, this place was an absolute abomination, and now it's looking really great. And with that, I think that is all the time I have for today's episode. We did an absolute ton of stuff today, and I'm super excited to do more in the future. So, yeah, thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.